Good morning. Gene Cavecche. Gene Cavecche was an honorable man. He was a disciplined man. He was a family man. But for those that knew Gene, and even for those who only spent time around Gene, it was clear he was a man of good luck and good fortune. For my dad, it really didn't matter the circumstance. He always had the confidence and faith that the outcome was going to be positive. The Great Depression occurred during Gene's childhood, but what that meant for him was that his family was moving from a cold New Britain, Connecticut to sunny Southern California. World War II broke out when Gene was a teenager, and after serving, what that meant to Gene was that the government, through the GI Bill, was going to pay for Gene's mechanical engineering degree from the University of Southern California. Gene was a fortunate man. In 1950, Gene married Dorothy Crowley. They had a very happy and very successful marriage for over 50 years. They were blessed with 7 children and 9 grandchildren. Gene was a man of good fortune. And after 20 years in the aerospace, and despite holding such impressive titles as Director of Research and Development for Aerojet Corporation and Director of Technology for Litton Aerospace, Gene decided to give all that up. And with 7 young kids at home, he decided to start his own business, a business he knew nothing about. But not surprising for those that knew Gene, his business was successful, and it flourished for nearly 40 years. I had the privilege of working with my dad in this business, and it was amazing to see how things always worked out for him. I recall one meeting on the project that I was running, and the project was in trouble. Gene came in and met with a client and simply asked them for more money. The client gave him more money and then thanked him. It was just that easy. Good fortune followed my dad. After my mom passed away, Gene met and married an absolutely wonderful woman, Cavecche, and he spent the last 6 years of his life in married bliss. Good fortune followed Gene. Towards the end of his life, it became tough for Dad to move around, but Dad had the help of my younger brother Bill next to him every day until the end. To many, Gene was a man of good luck and good fortune, but if you knew my dad, he didn't think of it as good luck and good fortune. He was a man of faith. Despite his knowledge in science, he understood that all of his accomplishments were not of his might, nor of his power. He was a man of faith. He gave his fears, he gave his insecurities, he gave his troubles to God, and he gave his hopes and his desires to God. And that was really the secret weapon in his life, his faith in God. Gene was always confident that in the end, the situation would turn around and work out. And because of his faith in God, it always did work out for him. I have 2 young daughters, Brooke and Ashley, and they don't worry about where their next meal is coming from. They don't worry about if they'll have a roof over their head. They look to me, their earthly father, to provide for them. They come to me with their desires or troubles, and I help them. And it feels good to me to provide for them. Well, Gene knew in the same way he needed to bring his fears, his doubts, his desires to his heavenly Father. And that if he did, it would make God happy, and God would provide. My dad knew that faith was the key to a happy, successful life on earth, not to mention the key to life ever after. I believe Gene would be very proud of his accomplishments during his time on earth, but I also believe he'd be very proud of his strong relationship and faith that he had in God. In closing, I think Dad would want us all to see him as a role model of what life can be like if you have faith. Thanks for everything, Dad. We will miss you.